right, I got Casey Kenney back on the show, and you can see him fight next against Yadong Song at UFC 265, August the 7th. Casey, how are you?
I'm doing great. Just starting camp, week number 2 for fight camp officially, but good little break and good to be back at it.
Yeah, no doubt. The fans are excited to see you back as well. Let's start with that last fight with Dominic Cruz, fighting a legend in the game, man, and you really, I think, brought out the best in him and made it a close fight yourself, man.
Yeah, I'll take my lumps and move on and get better from it, but put on a performance, and that was that. So looking to get better and capitalize against Yadong. But fighting Dominic Cruz is something that'll go down in the history books. It was a good fight, close fight, competitive fight. Got to bust Dominic Cruz up. Not many people can say that. So, I can live with it and move on.
What was the game plan heading into the fight, and how did it alter or change throughout, you got in the second and the third round?
The game plan was stuff his takedowns and, bust him up, which is pretty much what happened for the whole fight. I wanted to kick and knee a little bit more. I was having a hard time in the first round getting my footing, so I kind of went away from, kneeing and kicking a little bit. So I didn't want to slip and give up any takedowns. So, like I said, always improving, but, I did what I was supposed to do in that fight, besides put him away with my striking. I stuffed his takedowns for, even the first takedown in the third round. I kind of went for that guillotine. So I gave up one takedown and, landed some shots, but not enough to put him away. So, getting better, move on, and hopefully Yadong will go away.
Dom is clearly known for his awkward movement and, being hard to hit. How weird was that for you to kind of figure out his timing and range in the fight?
You can always watch video. You can talk about fighting that person, and then when you're actually in there, it's always a little bit different. So, Dominic Cruz is one of a kind, and I got to feel it, and nothing in that fight really surprised me too much. I knew it was going to be awkward, and I was prepared for that, and I was a little bit more patient than I had been in other fights, so I was happy with that.
Did you guys get a chance to talk a little bit afterwards?
Yeah, it was all respect afterwards, nothing major, but, said our congratulations and, kind of went on, and it was an honor to share the octagon with him type of thing, and, on to the next one.
Yeah, that's got to be a pretty cool feeling, 2-3 years ago, however long it was when you were trying to climb your way to where you're at right now, to know that you just fought Dominic Cruz. Like that's got to be a little surreal, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm super happy with where everything's going. That was my 7th UFC fight in just about 2 years. So, things are moving, and we're just beginning. So, 2021, 2022, look out.
No doubt. Now, big event just this past weekend, UFC 263. Did the results of those main fights turn out the way that you thought they would, or were you surprised by anything?
No, I thought Moreno was going to do it. The Diaz-Edwards fight was pretty much how I thought it would go. I was rooting for Nate, but, Leon is, tough as nails. And then, obviously, Nate's always exciting there at the end. Never count him out. And then the main event, I thought Vittori was going to make it a little bit closer. But, kind of went. That was a typical Adesanya, showcase besides the knockout.
Where did you watch the – did you stay home?
I was at the fights. Yeah, I was at the fights. It was here in Phoenix, and that was cool for me. That was the first live event I've been to in over a year with fans and everything, and made me even more excited to be fighting with fans again.
Yeah, and you're still kind of a ways out. August 7th is fight night. So did you partake maybe in some good food and have an adult beverage or two, or are you just there zoned in watching the action?
No, I was a full fight fan that night. Adult beverage and some good food, and got to join the whole thing. So it was a cool experience, man. Got to be out and about and see the Phoenix fan base that I'm building here. Got to see some fans out there, and it was get out and mingle and be a fan myself.
Yeah, so it must have been nice. I'm sure you got a lot of love there and a lot of people coming up to you. Is that something that you're getting more and more used to now as your popularity rises?
Yeah, it's part of the job, part of the sport, and that's always a good thing in this sport to have people like you. Sure, any publicity is good publicity in this sport, but for me, I'd rather have people like me than hate me. So it was cool to see some fans out and about.
I always find it interesting too, like, if you're a professional fighter and you're in the UFC, a lot of people know who you are. Like, have you ever gone out to a restaurant or a pub or whatever, and someone tries to actually test their manhood against you? Because you hear those stories, like, and it just boggles my mind when it does happen.
Maybe in the college days, but no, right now I'll run away from a street fight. I try to stay away from too many confrontations or anything. The ears kind of give it away nowadays too, so I try to steer clear of all that stuff.
Yeah, well, of course you'd still steer clear of it, no doubt. It's just you never know the people that are out there and trying to engage. It's just a crazy world.
Yeah, I mean, the world we live in today, especially see people online and stuff, it wouldn't doubt me that it happens, Well, you see it online sometimes. Look at the Mike Perry situation. That old man probably thought he had something for him, and wrong answer.
Definitely no. I'll be going the opposite direction if I see Platinum Mike out. Now, this camp in general, man, like, although it just started, are you going to be adding any new wrinkles to this camp, bringing in anybody new, or is it just going to be kind of like the same guys that you normally have?
No, it's the same camp that I got going on. The guys at the MMA lab, we run deep there, never short of guys there. And then also Chris Carriasso and Rise Combat Sports. Got a handful of guys there, and been with Chris for a long time, and she's been at the lab a long time now too. So running those two gyms, and seems to be working out for me. So it's good, man.
Yeah, no doubt. And you said sparring is tonight. So who are those guys that you're going to be getting in there with and mixing it up with? I mean, does it change at all during camp, or is it pretty much you're dialed in with just a few specific partners?
No, I'll be getting rounds with everybody. A little bit closer to the fight, I'll get some harder rounds with some more specific guys. But we got a handful of guys getting ready for fights. Shoot, Kyler's getting ready for a fight. O'Malley's getting ready for a fight. Mario's in there. Batista. Those are just UFC guys. I know Tequeño's in there. Got a handful of up and coming guys that are all killers too. So I'll get a bunch of rounds with a bunch of different looks, and then a little bit closer to camp, or a little bit closer to the fight, I'll kind of narrow it down.
Gotcha. When you do narrow it down, who are those guys that you pretty much focus in with once it gets closer to fight night?
That's when it'll kind of cater to who I'm fighting type of thing a little bit, and we'll kind of pick to see who will get in there. And actually, last for Dom, I sparred a lot with O'Malley. The good footwork, awkwardness type of thing. And then there's another guy, Talon Glasser, who's making his pro debut. He kind of has a similar style. So I had those two guys a lot for the Dom fight. For this one, I'll have to sit down and see who we got. But, someone that walks forward and throws big punches like Song. So there should be some interesting rounds coming up.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, you just went toe-to-toe with Dominic Cruz, a former champion, the number 9 ranked guy in the division. Where are you right now in the pecking order? Like, if you think about just how good you are right now, this moment, like, where do you feel like you could stack up? Are you a top 10 guy, if you got the chance, or do you feel like maybe you need a little bit more time before you do crack that?
Yeah, I think the bantamweight division's super deep. I think I can hang with any of those guys. I think the top 20, at any given day could beat each other. I felt like I'm right there with, the top of the division. Took a loss to Dominic Cruz, but I don't think he really out-skilled me in any particular area of mixed martial arts. I think I'm ready to make a couple adjustments, learn from my losses, and I think I'm ready to make another title run. Got a lot of work to do, but I like to stay active. So if you stay active in this sport, you can get a lot done quick.
Yeah, for sure. Now it's summertime everywhere in the country now, and it's even hotter where you're at, man. Like, what kind of things are you doing, outside of camp to kind of give yourself a break from the grueling day-to-day grind you go through?
Man, right now it's like 1:15 here in Phoenix. I took a little jog in the heat just to test myself yesterday, but right now, take an early morning hike, late at night stuff with the dog going out, but during the day, kind of hibernate in the AC and stay cool, in between training sessions and stuff. But man, I live in fighting is my life. I live fighting and back to the grind. So most of the time, just resting, maybe get out in nature a little bit.
If you do get out there and you're with your dog, do you got to worry about like snakes and other type of stuff? Like what's the deal with that?
Yeah, a little bit. Summertime you always got to be a little careful, but most of the time the snakes will, stay away from you. If you get way out there, like I've been out here 9-10 years and I've never ran into any rattlesnakes yet, and I've been on quite a few trails and stuff. I've seen them from a distance, but I think it's a kind of like sharks in the water. It's pretty rare.
I do got to ask you too, with the Phoenix Suns doing so well, are you getting into them? Like, are you a big fan?
Man, I haven't been a big basketball fan, but of course, I'm keeping tabs on them and checking it out, and rooting for them as well. But might have to get in on some of the festivities around here if they're doing well. They win a championship, I'm gonna have to go celebrate, at a parade or something with them. So
hopefully Chris Paul clears that COVID protocol and it's good. Oh, that's not
yeah,
good.
Man. I hope they let him play. That'd be cool.
Yeah, for sure. All right, UFC 265. Again, it's August the 7th, so it's a little ways away. Amanda Nunes, the women's GOAT, I think that's pretty much the consensus right now, is taking on Juliana Pena. Does Pena have a chance? Can she win this fight and give Nunes a loss, or do you feel like we're going to see another dominant performance?
Man, I mean, it's hard to bet against the Lioness. She's solid everywhere. I don't think Pena comes back and does it. I think she won her last fight, but I think the fight before that she got submitted by Dranamine. I think I was on that card. Not counting her out, but I don't think she's been back long enough to give Nunes any struggle. Probably be similar to the last one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, this will be in Houston, Texas. Are you going to be making the drive there? Are you going to be flying? I don't even know the distance from where
I think it's a little bit of a drive, but I'll be flying. I fly normally even to Vegas, quick flight to Vegas. Definitely not a fan of driving to fight week, so we'll be flying.
All right, and with the fans being back there, man, that's got to be pretty exciting. You were talking about just being around them as a fan yourself this past weekend. How much better of a version are we going to see of Casey Kenney come fight night with that energy from the fans?
Man, I mean, you guys see how I fight, especially this fight coming up. Song Yadong, he comes forward, throws down, and that's a fight with fans. You get a fight like Nathaniel Wood and I, or even Dom. With fans in there, the place is going to be electric. So, similar Casey Kenney you're going to see out there, but the little fan boost never hurts anyone. It's gonna be a good energy in there, man.
He's coming off a UD loss to a guy that you know pretty well, Kyler Phillips, man. Like, how do you feel having a training partner that just fought him that's going to be able to benefit you here for this one?
Always, man. Kyler's a stud. He's a good training partner, and got recent video. He felt the guy last, so I think definitely helps. It's in my favor to have your training partner just fight the guy.
What has he told you? I mean, he must have told you something. I mean, without giving away a game plan or anything. Like, does he feel you're going to be able to go in there, kind of impose your will in this fight?
Yeah, he said he's a tough kid, going to come forward, throw down. So it's an exciting fight, man. We'll see come August 7th.
So stylistically, it sounds like this really maybe could steal the show. It could be a fight of the night, just with the styles. You come forward, he comes forward. Is that accurate to say?
Yeah, definitely. I always say my style, if you survive, it's going to be fight of the night. And he's got a similar style. So I think that's fight of the night written all over it right there.
How does it end? Do you envision this getting into the latter part of the fight, or do you feel like you can finish him early?
I'm looking for a finish, man. They don't pay you by the hour in there, and I'm due for a finish, and I don't think he's been finished in the UFC, so I'm looking to put Song away and be the first guy to finish him in the UFC.
Now, if you're healthy and everything's a go, how active do you want to stay in 2021? Are you looking to get back in there quickly, or do you want to get a full camp in again?
No, I mean, I'd definitely like to get one or two more after that one. So I know two would be pushing it, but definitely one more. Get 3 in this year. That would be ideal for me. So shoot 4 if we can do it this year.
Very good, man. Well, I can't wait for this one. Casey, Kenney, Yadong, Song, UFC 265, August the 7th. Always a pleasure talking to you, my man. Before I let you go, I want to give you the floor. Tell people where to follow you on social media, and if you have anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
You can follow me on social media at CKMMA135, Casey Kenney on Facebook. And then just thank my team, everyone that supports me. You know who you are. Stay tuned in because the journey's just beginning.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.